Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. Welcome to another market open stream. Today, there's a huge catalyst happening, a gigantic one, and one that could set the tone for the remainder of this year. And surprisingly, we're more than halfway through. So let's talk about what this catalyst is, what's going to do to Bitcoin, to crypto, and to the entire market. Let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And the market bell has just rung. So Bitcoin is still stuck at 26,000, waiting for that push. What is that catalyst? Well, this guy right here, he's going to provide it. So the U.S. market yesterday was really good. Right now it's kind of red, but everyone is waiting for this guy to talk about the economy and talk about whether or not he's going to be raising the Fed fund rate. So this press conference always comes out at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I've done this enough, and a lot of people really enjoy it. So I will be streaming again at 1:30 p.m. So make sure you join in, right? But usually the notes gets released like 30 minutes before. But then what people really want to know is how he answers during Q&A. Because those reporters are getting better and better now. Before they would ask really silly questions that had nothing to do with anything. But now they're getting better. So sometimes he says some shocking things during his Q&A. But right now, CME prediction is it's 95% chance there will be no rate hike. There will be a pause, okay? And that is good. But I know everyone's going to be asking him, if we pause now, does that mean you're going to raise in July? Or does that mean there's a good chance that's it? There's no more. So I think that's for sure is going to be asked. And it'll be very interesting to see what he says. Because if he gives language like, it's a wait and see moment, then we're good. That means there could be no more. But if he says something along the lines of, we just wanted to rest. We just wanted to give the market some rest time until we do another one or something like that. I don't even know what he's going to say. He's a lot more eloquent than I am. But people could read between the lines, basically. So this could be a huge catalyst. Even though you may think the market price is in at 95% with no rate hike, but it really depends on what he says. Because, again, this could be the last one. And there are a lot of people predicting by November of this year, we actually will get a pivot and we'll actually see a decrease. That'll be interesting. And that could be an even bigger catalyst as we head into 2024, right? So, yeah, so we'll see. Now, I will caution, though. I remember the last few FOMC meetings right afterwards, even though he was he was not hawkish, he was dovish. Even though he was dovish, the market reacted negatively. And then the next day, positively. So we could get a fake out like that too, where today we'll see after whatever he says, the market starts dipping. And then towards tonight and tomorrow, boom, we start rallying huge. I remember specifically the last few times that's what happened. So we'll see. But you know what? In the meantime, Bitcoin supply is lower than ever. People are buying up whatever they can from the exchanges. Bitcoin supply has dropped to a 5-year low. Even with the SEC-induced panic, 5-year low, okay? And all the TA guys are saying, well, look at this. I don't know of all the TA guys, okay? But for some TA guys, they may be looking at this, showing that, yeah, Bitcoin is in a falling wedge pattern, which is a very bullish pattern to be in because that means Bitcoin's about to break out. And this is more likely because we are also hugging against that 21 EMA weekly, which traditionally is when above is a good point to be at, right? So that catalyst today, FOMC meeting? Are we going to see Bitcoin break out of this pattern and get back into 27, 28, 29, 30,000? Well, we've been stagnant for long enough, so maybe it will drive us upwards, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But we know that the fundamentals of Bitcoin has never been better. I just got done saying the exchange reserves keeps on dropping, okay? 5-year low, it's pretty obvious what's been happening. People are buying up Bitcoin and removing them from exchanges. This is also part of fundamentals. Long-term holders that are selling, basically, it doesn't register right now. Look at the very right side. Nothing. Long-term holders are not scared. Long-term holders are only buying and holding, not selling, not sending to the exchanges. Okay, so bottom line is this. Nothing to be scared of if you're in Bitcoin. This is normal. We go through cycles. We go through scary macro stuff. We go through scary external factors all the time. But the long-term holders are not deterred. No way, because we know Bitcoin is the future. It's really that simple. And Michael Saylor also, even though he's a noob in Bitcoin, actually not so much anymore because he's been in it since 2020, but still, he's more bullish than ever. But I will disagree with this. Well, maybe not, because Michael Saylor says dominance is heading for 80% of long term. Long term could mean 10 years, 20 years. I don't necessarily disagree, right? But short term, Bitcoin dominance is still below 50%. It did jump up recently, but last time we were this high, or last time Bitcoin was high in the 70s was back in like pre-2017, pre-2016, before DeFi really took off. Even as bad as alts seem right now, there's still about 44 billion worth of alts being locked in right now. And because of this, people are not selling. That's why alts have been holding much, much better now than previous cycles, right? So I don't know about Bitcoin heading to 80% short term, but long term, definitely, because I said this many times. The one crypto that I know will be around in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years is Bitcoin. For everything else, I can't say that. I can't say that Ethereum's going to be around in 50 years or 30 years or even 20 years. Okay, but Bitcoin will. Because everything else, I see it as these network protocols. I see them as almost like the Microsofts and Apples of the world, right? One day, you think they're on top of the world and they'll be living forever. Another day, something else comes out and replaces them, right? So all these other network protocols, yes, they'll be around within the next 5 years, 10 years. But will they continue to be dominant powerhouses of tomorrow? Can't say that for sure. But as for Bitcoin, as a store of value, nothing will ever replace Bitcoin. Nothing. Nothing could ever replace Bitcoin as a long-term store of value, hedge against inflation. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So maybe 80% in the future. All right, and then what about Ripple? We got some shocking news about Ripple. First of all, we know that the Hinman emails came out. I did a whole thing about it. It basically stated Ethereum is not a security. Whether or not it helps Ripple, I don't know. I like to think it does. Ripple welcomes MiCA regulations, which is basically something that it's a framework that was implemented in the Eurozone. Okay, and it's basically a total framework for the exchanges, for custody, for all these things. And it'll be nice if the U.S. can get something like this. I know Congress is trying to come out with something like this, but then the SEC and Gary just threw a whole big wrench into it. The House committee was actually set to talk to Coinbase and others in the industry when SEC dropped that nasty lawsuit on Coinbase. The exact same day. Why do you think they did that? To throw a wrench in this whole plan, right? And it really sucks. Again, no one likes Gary, and he needs to be removed from office. As simple as that. Okay, simple as that. But in the meantime, we're hoping for Ripple to win the case, give a black eye to the SEC, and then hopefully the others that are fighting SEC will also give them black eye by winning, and then maybe then Gary decides to step down or be removed from office. But here's a shocking thing. Someone was digging in. There's this internet detective that was digging in through the latest documents. And one of the reasons why the SEC is suing not only Ripple, but also the founders, Chris Larsen and Brad Garlinghouse, is due to their sale, of their XRP. Okay. So you might be thinking, well, what's so bad about them selling, right? Nothing. If you're founders of a company, you're entitled to sell whatever you want. But because SEC is making this argument that XRP itself is a security, so as a founder, if you sell that security, then you're in violation, right? You have to report it or whatever. So, I mean, it's all convoluted. But anyways, people found, or at least this one person found, how much these guys were selling. So, first of all, Brad Garlinghouse. Over the years, from 2017 to 2020, Brad Garlinghouse sold a whopping $156 million worth of XRP in foreign exchanges. That's roughly about 95% of what he sold. And then he sold about 8.5 million on US exchanges. That's about 5%, right? And then he used a lot of BitHum, Bitstamp, and this is over the years, right? This is up to 2020. So from 2020 to now, there could have been more. We don't know, but this is just from 2017 to 2020. Actually, that was the worst time to be selling. 2017 was great, but like 2018 through 2020 was bad, but we don't know what the breakdown is. But that's a lot. That's a lot. That's from Brad Garlinghouse. And keep in mind, he's not a co-founder of Ripple. He came in as CEO later and was gifted a whole bunch of XRP. But what about Chris Larsen? Well, Chris Larsen even more. Chris Larsen sold on foreign exchanges $395 million worth of XRP, 87% on foreign exchanges, and $58 million on US-based exchanges. If you add that up, that's what, like $450 million? $500 million worth of sales just between 2017 and 2020. Man, I guess that's the reason why. This girl right here wants to meet Chris Larsen.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larsen.
Sorry, I don't know how that started playing. But, yeah, maybe that's the reason. All right, moving on. Bittrex, once upon a time, back in 2017, was the biggest exchange. They went bankrupt because they were sued by the SEC. And then, yeah, that was the end of them. But basically, since then till now, they have stopped withdrawals, but the court is allowing them to open. I don't know how many of you guys still have crypto on Bittrex, but the good thing is starting on Thursday, you'll be able to withdraw. Okay, so, but unfortunately, Bittrex, again, like I said, back in 2017, they were the Binance back in the day. Everyone wanted to be listed on Bittrex, and they shot themselves in the foot. It's such an interesting story. You know, only OGs like myself would remember. But, you know, early in 2017, before Binance came out, you had Coinbase and you had basically like Bittrex, and everyone wanted to be listed on Bittrex. And, you know, when the bull run started happening in the second half of the year, everyone was signing up, you know, overloaded Bittrex and Coinbase. Like every single day, you couldn't log in because they were so overloaded, right? So Bittrex decided to proactively shut down new registrations. But unfortunately, when they did that, they didn't stop for like 6 months. For whatever reason, they decided, okay, we're going to shut down registrations, and then we're not going to open for like 6 months. So that's when like guys like Binance and KuCoin came into the market. Okay, and they also had problems. I remember even Binance had problems with overloaded servers and stuff like that. But Binance was just like, okay, I don't care, just keep on coming in, right? And during that time, Bittrex just shut themselves out. And then come 2018, Binance just continues to add more and more coins and just continues to innovate. And Bittrex basically shot themselves in both feet and died afterwards. Like literally the hottest time to allow people to come in and register, they shut down. People thought it was going to be like temporary for a week or so. No, they shut down for like 6 months. It doesn't even make any sense. Anyways, I just want to ramble on about that because they could have been Binance. They were Binance before Binance, and then they went away. They went away. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I guess the last thing is there's some rumors about Binance about selling Bitcoin for BNB, and of course CZ answers says no, that's not true at all, right? But maybe they have been converting BUSD because they do have a large amount of BUSD into BNB. BNB yesterday did start rallying, and I'm like, I don't know why, right? So people are speculating and Binance is doing something and buying BNB or something with their Bitcoin reserves or with something else. I think it's probably because of the stable coins that they're trying to get rid of and trying to use that to buy BNB. So there you go. All right, that's pretty much it. Where's the U.S. market at right now? NASDAQ up. Tesla was still going up. Ooh, Tesla went down today, unfortunately. AMD's up. NVIDIA had a really good day. Coinbase is up. Apple's up. That's good. But this guy's going to set the tone for the remainder of this year. All right, let's do some Q&A. Oh, I realized I was not on mute. All right, let me scroll down. Scrolling. People love that XRP educational video. FOMC meeting is at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time or 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. And yes, I will be streaming. I always stream it unless I have something to do. I don't have anything to do today, so yeah. 1:30 p.m. We'll have a good time. We'll see what Gina says. Gina and Kobe, they're the best. They're the best at asking questions. And yeah, we'll see what they say. It'd be huge. The Powell announces no rate hike and also gives an indication that there's no more needed. Okay, that'll be big. But I remember the market dipped after the last few FOMC meetings. It was kind of like a fake out, and then the next day it started rallying. So we could see that again today. Yeah, today will be, Scott, thanks for a reminder. Today will also be, tonight will also be Twitter Spaces with the Flux team. So I don't know how many of you guys have been tuning in my Twitter Spaces, but 6:30 p.m. right before my night stream every Wednesday. So be talking to the Flux team and get some good info from them. Troy says, hanging at 26K. It's going to rise, fall hard, rise fast. The usual games. Yeah, I've seen that. When announcement first comes out, which is like 30 minutes before the meeting, it'll probably spike up, then fall down, and then during the speech, it'll go up. Something like that. Is Nvidia way overvalued? Found out SpaceX dominates their market, but it's only priced at $125 billion. Not really, because GPUs and AI. I don't know. That's the hot thing right now. I don't think AI is gonna go away. Right now, they dominate 80% of the market, but AMD just announced these new AI chips. It's funny when they say like these new AI chips. That's why AMD is going up, and I think AMD is a steal right now. But it's just new silicon, and it's really a matter of optimizing code to utilize the chips, right? So I don't know if they're overvalued or not, but they're definitely one of the big boys now. And Tesla, of course, is also back, very close to 1 trillion market cap again. What is the use of AI when everyone will be jobless? Well, massive profits for the corporations. I think they're, corporations only care about the bottom line, right? They don't really care about if they're employing people. They may say they do, but bottom line is they want to make as much money as possible. And through AI, that's going to help them do that. The good thing about that is productivity should increase, which means that prices of goods should also decrease. Price of service should also decrease, which helps with disinflation, right? But it doesn't help when people are out of jobs. That's for sure. There's a trade-off there. And of course, don't forget, July 29th, those of you guys that can attend, you don't want to miss it. I started throwing out invitations to all the high rollers, the influential people. A lot of people will be there, and there'll be some surprise projects that be there too, that no one thinks will be there, but will be. It'll be a good event. Brett, I don't know. I may or may not. I don't know. I'm concentrating on the projects right now, right? Because if any of you guys attend, you want to, probably talk with the projects. This is really a networking event, right? So I don't know how many influencers I'm going to invite. Probably end up inviting all the ones I know. So there might be a good chance. Yeah, there might be a good chance like BitBoy, Altcoin Daily guys, they might be showing up, but I'm concentrating more on the projects right now. Have you moved away from Ledger? No, I've been using multi wallets for a long time. So whatever I have in Ledger is still there. I just have not touched it. I've not updated it. You know, as long as you don't update, you know, you're not going to get that new backdoor software. I don't know what the deal is. They delayed it. I don't even know if they actually released it or gone away or stopped it, to be honest. But besides that, I use Trust Wallet a lot. I use Arculus Wallet. I use MetaMask. I use RX Wallet. I'm like all over. Like I'm very spread out. Any new Lego project? No, I have not. I've not kept up with the new Legos. I've been too busy recently. I'm not. I don't even know the new sets that came out or anything like that. If LeBron and Curry retire, who would carry the NBA? I guess. I guess all the. I guess all the foreign players. Like, you think about outside the top three, I guess arguably MVP candidates right now are all foreign players, right? You got Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. And the MVPs go rotate between these three for a very long time. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but one of these guys will carry the NBA. And they all happen to be big men again, right? So we're going back to the big men days, which I don't have a problem with. I love to see some physical, you know, back to the basket type, you know, players come into the NBA. Every time I see Shaq's like old, you know, highlights, it makes me wish that we had some bigger, you know, bigger people that just plays in the paint, which doesn't really happen anymore. Anton, she screams your intro every single time. Hopefully, not in. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Hello, Johanna. I'm glad you're enjoying my channel with your husband Anton. Appreciate your support. AJ, also appreciate that. Liberty in Trust, yes. Kind of flat ahead of the FOMC meeting. Bitcoin also trending up a little bit, but still kind of flat too. Overall market today, you know, XRP took a dip. You know, everyone thought the Hibben docs was going to help XRP, but it may still, but right now, kind of sold off its gains from yesterday. Yeah, today is kind of flat too. Everyone's waiting for FOMC meeting. Are we going to get a boost? Oh, I didn't even show this. You know, are we going to see that boost? Robert says, after the Vegas conference, you should do a private poker game, $500 entry fee. That would be cool. But I don't know if we have enough time because that's at night. You know, it's a 4-hour thing. VIP is a 5-hour, so it might be kind of drunk by then to play. Any idea why United Health? I don't keep track of insurance companies, nor would I ever invest in an insurance company. You know, here's the funny thing. All these, and I could give my mom as example too, because she's older, obviously. She relies on a financial advisor. She just gave her, you know, a whole bunch of money. I think it's from Wells Fargo or something like that. And then, you know, of course, the wealth advisor spread it out, right? Less risky plays and all these plays. And buys all these weird companies that no one would ever buy, right? And I'm like, you know, what kind of percentage do you get? Like, what kind of yield or gains do you get per year? And I don't know what she said, like, you know, like 5%, 6% or whatever, right? I'm like, it's so simple. If you're just investing in stocks, okay, if you just put all your money and say spread out among like the top 5 tech companies like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, now Nvidia, and I don't know, throw in I don't know, maybe just top 4, okay? Like if you look at that and you just look at the performance of them over the last 5 years, it's insane. Their performance is like their average of like 50% gain per year, basically, if you look at the last 5 years. Of course, there'll be down years, but they recover really quickly. I'm like, why would you not just put money and spread out into big tech? Why would you ever buy anything else like United Healthcare? Like, you're never going to get the same kind of gains. Same thing if you're buying AT&T or Verizon. You're never going to see them give you the gains that these tech companies will, right? I just don't get it. Like, just park your money into these big tech that will just continue to make you endless money. Of course, not nearly as fast or as much as crypto, but still, if you want to be conservative, go with the big tech. It doesn't matter if they fall, because they'll just recover right back up, and their profits never waver. They continue to make tens of billions every single quarter. It's like, I don't even know why anyone would consider anything else. And I'm not even the biggest Apple guy, but like, you know, this is the 5-year performance. I mean, this is insane. Nothing's outperforming this, right? And same thing with Nvidia, or same thing with Tesla. You know, it's like 5-year performance. What were they 5 years ago? $23? That's 10x, more than 10x, right? You're not going to outperform this. So if you're holding stocks, not that this is financial advice, but it'd be silly not to hold the top 4. Anyway, it's just my opinion. Do this up here. What's going on, Polygon? Are they fighting? Fighting who? Fighting SEC? No. What Polygon and others are doing is preparing to leave the U.S., unfortunately, right now. Polygon said their development, Polygon 2, is exclusively outside the U.S., and that's due to SEC, unfortunately, due to Gary scaring all these projects away. That's why we need to stop it. Otherwise, in the U.S., we're not going to have anything. Not going to have access to anything or any innovations, and all these projects will be driven away. So that's why no one wants to see SEC win. Some people hold United Health and Verizon because of their dividends, like Berkshire. Yeah, I get that. But that's just like, you know, in sports, they have a saying, you're either playing to win, you're playing not to lose, right? Buying a stock for dividends is playing not to lose. That's kind of how I see it, right? I guess, you know, if you want to be very conservative, and you want those dividends, then you're playing not to lose. But there's better plays then. If you want to be ultra conservative, don't even go buy an annuity or something. Get a CD that's paying something, right? Because even if you're getting those dividends and those companies continue to fall, then there's no point, right? I just find if you're investing to win. You're not investing not to lose, right? Then defeats the purpose. Especially if you don't even outperform inflation, that's even worse. So that's kind of how I see it. SoCal. All you had to do is go to the website and you'll find out. It's free for all I Am George NFT holders. No cost. If you don't have one and you want to buy a NFT to get in, it starts at $100. It's that simple. But I've said before, you know, I sold quite a few strap-on NFTs and previous NFTs. I said, hey, I'm going to build value for those, right? This is one of the ways to do so. So click in the link and you'll find out. But yeah, this is going to be a good event. 4 hours, 5 hours, a lot of major players there, and it'll just be a good time in Vegas. All right, guys, let's conclude. I'll see you guys at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time again because of the FOMC meeting, and we'll see what Powell says. Is it going to be a catalyst? The rate pause, is it going to be a catalyst for something like this or something like this to break out? I hope so. We'll see. Again, I'll see you guys in a couple hours, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. Can you see PYR in a bull run 10x or above? Yes, T.